Hey there, second grade. Today we are going to be starting Chapter 7, Lesson 4. We're going to be focusing on regrouping the tens place value. So would you please go ahead, open up to page 433 with me. And as you're turning there, we've already talked before about regrouping the ones place value. And that's where we have to go next door to the tens place and take from there. But today we're going to be asking the question, what happens if I don't have enough tens? Can I go next door and regroup from there? So that's what we're going to be working on today. So as you are going ahead and turning to page 433, I'm going to go ahead and start a problem to kind of show you what we'll be working on for today. Down here at the bottom, it says, use base 10 blocks to solve. Mr. Hicks, our gym teacher, had 145 jump ropes. 36 jump ropes broke this year. How many jump ropes does Mr. Hicks have? Well, in this problem, I see some numbers here. I see 145, and then I see 36. And the 36 broke, which means they're going to be taken away. So when I write, I'm going to start with my 145. So I'm going to write that out, 145. And now, as I go on, I'm going to take away 36 because they broke. So we're going to minus. And remember, when I write this out, I want to start in my ones place. So I'm going to start with my 6, and then I'm going to put my 3 in the tens place. All right, so this is our problem right here, 145 minus 36. Well, before we solve it on here, let's go ahead and take a look at what this would look like. So if you remember, we've got our ones cubes. Each one of these is worth 1. So I've got 5 of my ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My 4 is my tens place, which are my straights. So I've got 4 straights here, because there's 4 groups of 10. And my 1 is in the hundreds place, so I have a 100 flat. Well, if I want to take away 36, I got to start in my ones place. So I have 5, and I want to take away 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't do it. 6 is larger than 5, so that doesn't work. So if you remember what that means we need to do is we need to regroup. So we're going to take one of these straights, and we're going to break it apart so that it becomes ones. So I'm going to take my straight, I'm going to get rid of it, and instead turn it into 10 ones. How many ones do I now have? Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. How many did we want to take away? Well, we want to take away 6. So let's go ahead and do that. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When I take away those 6, how many am I left with? Well, I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 15 take away 6 was 9. Now that I've subtracted my ones place, now I can go on to my tens place. Well, I don't have 4 anymore, but I still need to take away this 3. So I've got 3 left here, and I need to take away 3 tens. So let's take them away. We've got 1, 2, 3. How many tens am I left with? Well, I'm left with 0 in my tens place because I got rid of all of my tens. All those 10 straights are now gone. Let's take a look here. I've got 100 and I'm taking away nothing. How many hundreds am I left with? Well, I'm left with 1 in my hundreds place. Well, let's quickly take a quick look at what this would look like if I didn't use my place value blocks. If I started here and said 5 minus 6, can I do that? No. So I need to regroup. So I'm going to go over to my next place value. And if you remember, we cross it off and we're taking 1 away. What is 4 take away 1? It's 3. Well, that 1 that was here was a 10 straight. It's going to come over and become a 10 in my place value, in my ones place value, and the 5 will come up to join it. So I don't have 5 anymore. Now I have 15 because I added that 10 over here. Now that I've done that, now I can say 15 minus 6. Well, I'm going to start at 15 and count 6 times backwards. So 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. So in my ones place value, I'm going to put my 9. And now I'll move to my next place value, 3, take away 3. If I have 3 and I take 3 away, I'm left with 0. And now my hundreds place is 1, take away nothing is 1. So this is what we're going to be practicing together today. We're going to be starting to regroup into our tens place. Today, we're going to be focusing on how to take away from this middle place value if it doesn't have enough. So would you go ahead and turn with me to the next page? We're going to be starting on page 434. See if I can get it to refocus. Sorry. Well, that's all right. We're going to be on page 434. So if you are not there yet, I'm going to ask you to pause your video right now so you can get on page 434. Because as we start today, you've got to have your pencil out like I've got. And whatever I write on the page, I want you to write on your page. So if you're not there yet, go ahead and pause your video. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and press play. All right, on page 434, we're going to go ahead and get started on our guided practice. So it says find 652 minus 429. So we've got our different steps here. For the most part, we're going to be following along. Make sure you've got something you can write down, just like I'm going to be doing here. I'm going to be using my actual cubes to go ahead and show our different place values and what this looks like. You can follow along with me and also see on here the pictures that they're showing you. So they took 652 and wrote that, and again, it goes all the way across. Then when they did 429, they started with the 9 and put it in the ones place, then the 2 in the tens place, and our 4 in the hundreds place. It's so important that we make sure we line up our place values when we're doing a subtraction problem. So now we can subtract the ones. So here I've got my 600, I've got 40, or sorry, 50, 650, sorry about that. 650 and then 2. I'm going to take away 429. So we're going to start in our ones place. Well, if I have 2, can I take 9 away? No, I can't do that. So what do I need to do? Well, I need to go next door and regroup. So I'm going to go to my tens place and regroup. So they crossed off our 5 and turned it into a 4. That 10 is going to turn into a 1. So we're going to take it and break it apart so that way it becomes all ones. Well, how many ones do I now have? Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we put our 12 up on top in the ones place value. Now I can do this, 12 minus 9. So I'm going to start here and take away 9. Count them with me. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When I take those away, what am I left with? 1, 2, 3. So a 3 goes in my ones place. They already did that for me. Now we're going to move on to our tens place. In my tens place, I now have a 4. Okay, I started with 5, but when I regrouped, I had to take one of those 10s away. I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to take away 2 of my 10 straights. So I'm going to take away 1, 2. How many straights was I left with? 1, 2. So a 2 is going to go in my tens place because there's 2 of them left over. Now that I've done that, now I move on to my hundreds place. I have 6 hundreds here, and I'm going to take away 4 of them. Okay, I need to take away 4 of them. Did I have to regroup? No. So I'm just focusing on 6 minus 4. So I'm going to take away 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many am I left with here? 1, 2, which is why we have a 2 in our hundreds place. So when I subtracted all of this, I have 3 ones, and you can go ahead and write this in with me. I have 2 tens, and I have 2 hundreds left over. That's what it actually looks like when we're doing subtraction in these different place values. We have to go place value by place value so that way we can put it all in each place and then figure out what each part subtracts. If we can't do it, then we have to make sure that we go to the next place value to borrow from there and put it into that place value. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at number 1. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here real fast. And I'm going to ask you to try number 1 on your own. This is the same thing that we've been practicing over and over. So I want you to see if you can do it. So would you go ahead, pause the video right now, do number 1, and when you're done, go ahead and press play and we'll come back together and go over it. Alrighty, I hope that you paused your video and did number 1. We're going to go over this one together right now. I'm going to start off in my ones place, and I have 6 minus 7. If I have 6, I can't take 7 away. Remember, whenever my bottom number is larger than the top number, I can't do it. So I need to regroup. So my 6 is going to go to the next place value. It's going to cross off my 4 and take 1 of those away. Well, 4 minus 1 is 3. This isn't just a 1. This is 10 ones, so I need to bring my 6 up to make this into a 16. Okay? Now from here, I need 16 minus 7. Well, you can do this a lot of different ways. Maybe you like drawing a picture of 16 and crossing off 7. I like to just count backwards. So I'm going to start at 16. And I'm going to make 7 dots. And when I get to my 7, I'm going to stop and figure out where I'm at. So 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. 16 minus 7 is 9. Now I can go to my tens place value. 3 is the number I'm left with. So 3 minus 1. Well, if I have 3 and take 1 away, I'm left with 2. Now in my hundreds place, I have 5 minus, and there's nothing there, so 5 minus 0 is going to stay a 5. So my answer would be 529. Let's take a look at number 2 together, because this is going to be the first one where we might need to do a little bit more. So would you go ahead and pause your video right now? I want you to practice this one on your own. Subtract your ones place first, then subtract your tens place, and then subtract your hundreds place. Pause your video, and when you're done, we'll come back together and go over that. All right, I hope that you paused your video because we're going to go over number 2 together. All right, number 2 says I have in my ones place 3 minus 9. If I have 3, I can't take 9 away, so I've got to regroup. I'm going to take 1 away from my tens place, so 8 minus 1 is 7, and that 1 comes over here. My 3 will come up to make that into a 13. Well, 13 minus 9. I'm going to draw my 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is one of the strategies you can use. I'm going to take away 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excuse me. 6, 7, 8, 9. How many am I left with here? Well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 13 minus 9 is 4. Now I can go to my tens place. 7 minus 3. Well, if I have 7, I'm going to count backwards 3 times. So 6, 5, 4. 7 minus 3 is 4. My last one is 7 minus 4. So I'm going to take 7 and count backwards 4 times. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So my answer here is 344. All right, will you please go to the next page? We're going to be on page 435. And this is going to be our independent practice. This is what you're going to be working on in just a little bit. But I want to point out to you, remember, up here, they're showing us all of our different place values, just like we were doing. As we keep going, they take away the top parts, but everything is still lined up for us. We have all of our lines in our boxes. If you remember from before, just because there's a box there does not mean that we have to regroup. It just gives you the option. But then down here at the bottom, they take all of that away. So let's go ahead and take a look real fast at number 8 to see how we can solve these types of problems. So for number 8, if you really like those lines, you're welcome to draw them in, so that way they're there. Otherwise, we can just go ahead and figure this out. So 4 minus 7, I'm going to start in my ones place. 4 minus 7, I can't do it. My bottom number is bigger than the top number, so that does not work. So I'm going to regroup. I'm going to go to my next place value and take 1 away from there. So 5 take away 1 is 4. And that 1 is going to come over to my ones place, and that 4 will make it into a 14. Well, 14 minus 7. Let's count backwards. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. 14 minus 7 is 7. I've got to make sure that I put that underneath my ones place value because I'm talking about the ones. Now we'll move on to my tens place value. Well, 4 minus 0 is 4. In my hundreds place value, 7 minus 5. 7 minus 5 is 2. So that will be in my hundreds place value. Make sure when you do these problems, you line up each place value and put the difference at the bottom. All right, well, for today, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and do the rest of these problems on your own. Numbers 3 all the way to number 16 on page 435. Go ahead and do those right now, and you will go over these with your teacher tomorrow. Have a great rest of the day.